I want to show you how life sciences, pharmaceutical companies can use Dynamics 365 Business Central to help better manage their companies. So let's take a look at it. We're going to look at projects and how you can use projects to track expenses, but also track timesheets and turn around and bill clients for those if you need to. Secondly, we'll look at inventory. Specifically, we'll look at lot-controlled items. We'll look at a bill of material that has lot-controlled items in it. We'll go through a simple assembly process. And then we'll look at a product recall process where you may have a component item that's in a bad lot but gets turned into a finished good, and you want a way to track those finished goods that contain that bad lot. So let's get started. The Business Central chart of accounts and account string includes a main account plus one or more dimensions. And you can easily use one of those dimensions to track project costs. So I'll show you how to do that easily. Here's a simple purchase order for some lab supplies. I've charged it to a lab supply account number, but I also have additional dimensions that further define the account string that will be used when this is posted. Let's scroll over to the right here. And I've got these three additional dimensions I can use. One is location, you can see that. I've got one for facility, and my class dimension here is acting as a project. So any expenses that I want to go to that specific project, I can easily identify that project by using this dimension from the chart of accounts. This turns out to be an easy way to track project expenses for internal use. Next, let's look at a project where we will track time against a particular project, against different tasks in that project, and then we'll turn around and we'll bill that back to a client that we might have that we're doing some R&D for. I'm logged into Business Central as a project manager, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a timesheet. I'm going to submit that for approval, and then we'll look at the approval process and how that shows up in the project. We'll start a new timesheet here. This is my timesheet. I've done some work already, but I want to record additional work that I've done on a particular project. I can do that easily. I'll just click into the timesheet here. And this is the project we have. And I've got three different tasks in this project. I'm going to select this one here. Put in some time. I'm going to select the same project, use a different task, and record time for that. Now I can save this. I can also access it on my mobile device, but I'm going to go ahead and submit this because I'm done with this particular week. Go ahead and submit that. I'm now logged in as a manager, and this is the role center I see when I log into that. You can see I have items related to projects. If I scroll down here, I can see I've got a timesheet to approve. I'm going to open that up. I can take a look at the timesheet. And I have options. I can go ahead and approve this if I want to. I can reject it. I can put a comment in it and send it back to the timekeeper. But I'm going to go ahead and approve this. And I'm done. Now let's take a look at the project and see how that's been updated for time. These are all the projects I currently have in my Business Central system. This is the one we've been working on. Let's take a look at that. I'll open that up and you can see I have different tasks. I've got three different tasks here. You can have as many tasks as you want to. You can set up a hierarchy, have subtasks if you want to do that as well. Here I have budgets for the different tasks, and I've got the actuals right here. If I drill down on that, we can see the timesheet entries that we just posted into this project. The second and third ones here in this list. And I've already invoiced some of this, but I want to go ahead and invoice a little bit more. Let's go ahead and invoice this. I'm going to invoice it to a client of mine. We're doing some R&D work for them. So let's go ahead. I'm going to bill the entire project for items that have not already been billed. So I'll go ahead and create an invoice for that. The invoice has been created. Let's take a quick look at that. This is the invoice in Business Central. I can go ahead and send that out to my client if I want to. You can see here I've got the individual line items. It's broken down by tasks. So my client gets a good idea what they're being billed for. You can see that here. And this is being billed as a time and materials project. So it's pretty straightforward. And this invoice is ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and post it and send it out to the client. Before we continue, if you like this type of content, the best way to support us and to help others find this content is to subscribe to our channel, activate the notifications, and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for helping us grow this channel. Let's get back to the demonstration. Next, I want to take a look at inventory. We're going to look at lot control items, a simple assembly, and then we're also going to look at how you can do a product recall based on that information. To do that, I'm going to change roles. Right now I'm logged in as a project manager. I'm going to log in as a different role. It's easy to do. Go to my settings. I've got a number of roles that come with Business Central. I'm going to use the manufacturing manager. So let's go ahead and look at that. Here's the role center for the manufacturing manager. Now the role center looks different, has different items on it. I still have access to everything in the system that I need, but I've got the important items right on the role center. So first of all, let's look at some items. This is my item list. This is our finished good item. It includes all the information about this finished good item. I have some pricing in here. I've got some costs in here. This is also lot controlled. And it has a bill of material. It's an assembly bill of material. We can take a look at that. Open that up. The bill of material includes these items here. And the first 4 on this list are all lot controlled items. So we'll see how that works in Business Central. But the first thing I want to do is run an MRP process. It's very simple in Business Central. I've already run it. And these are the items that I'm interested in. I've got these items in different item categories. And you can see it's specifying that, first of all, I create a work order for the finished good item. You can see that here. Let's scroll over a little bit. It's going to be an assembly order here for 100. And then I've got the components. These are the components I need to purchase in order to make this item. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this plan. We're going to create assembly orders, 1, and we're also going to create purchase orders. Let's go ahead and do that. First of all, let's take a look at the purchase orders. Here's the new purchase order right here. We'll open that up. These have all the items from the MRP process. These are the exact things I want to order and the quantities that I need today. So I'm going to go ahead and order this. And now I'm going to receive it, identify the lot numbers from the vendor that I'm bringing into my business. For the first item, I'm going to specify the lot number. I'm going to enter the lot number that the vendor has shipped me. I can scan this in if I have a scanner, or I can just enter it in. So here I've entered the lot number. I have the same lot number for the entire shipment. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Then I'll go through and record the other lot numbers in this shipment. So I've gone ahead and identified the lot numbers for the remaining items on this purchase order. I can now receive it in and also invoice it. The invoice will show up in accounts payable. So let's go ahead and do that. Next, let's take a look at the assembly order that was created from the MRP process. This is the assembly order right here. It's pretty straightforward. I've got the individual component items listed, the amounts, quantities, and this is one that's ready to go. And because this is lot controlled, I need to specify the new lot number for the new finished good item that we're going to create. I also need to specify the component lot numbers that I'll use in the production process. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is the finished product, and I've got a template for the lot number that I want to use for this finished product. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to assign one lot number for the entire process. And I'll go ahead and specify the lot numbers for the component items. And I've gone ahead and selected all the component lot numbers, so I'm ready to finish this up. I can adjust the quantities if I need to do that, but this one's okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and post it. So I'm done with that process. The finished good item is in the inventory, the component items have been back flushed, and we're ready to sell this. So this is a simple sales order. I've got the item on the first line there. I specified the lot number of the finished good. It's going to go out to the client. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to the client. We'll post it, and we're done. Now let's take a look at the product recall functionality within Business Central. The scenario is my vendor has contacted me and indicated that one of the items that he sent me, one of the lots, is not any good. So I need to find out which products I put that into. Here's the lot number that I'm looking for. This is a finished good item that contains a component that had the bad lot. So I'm going to search on that. I can trace it. It gives me the results here. It turns out that this top one here, this is the one that the vendor informed me was bad. So what I can do is I can see that this went out on this shipment right here. Let me specify that. I'll show the document. And now I know who the customer is that has the bad product. I'm going to reach out to them and have them send that back to me. So we looked at how life sciences pharmaceutical companies can use Dynamics 365 Business Central to better manage their business. We looked at projects and how you can collect costs by different projects, and also how you can use timesheets and turn around and bill clients for that time. We looked at inventory, specifically lot control items and assemblies, how we can take a number of components, put them into a finished good, and then we looked briefly at a product recall process where Business Central will track the bad lots all the way through the production process. So if you got a problem with a bad product or a bad component, you can track that down and find it.